Look, I'm not afraid of Jason. Look at me. I'm fucking
Oh my
Jason.
God.
Look at him, dude. Eat his fucking mask off. Eat his mask off. Keep the fucking mask on, Jason.
I'm fingering his asshole.
Fucking wrap his balls. I'm gonna fucking raw dog him in the mask hole.
I got your butt, pussy.
So hard.
Take it.
Just fuck you, Jason. Fucking
Who
son.
are you two fags fucking?
Just Jason Voorhees.
What's up, Pleekers, and welcome to Podcast the 13th. This is going to be our podcast where we talk about the Friday the 13th franchise. There's 12 movies.
There's 12?
And then there's the remake, which I don't know if we'll include the remake. We might. I'm not positive on that one. But yeah, so we're going to go through the Friday the 13th franchise. And, as we just watched the first one, as this podcast is about. And I had Nick here just have his notebook out, and he took notes as we went through the movie. And
Yeah.
I'm gonna read the plot. I got the wiki up right here, so I'm gonna read the plot. Just to warn you, I have the about reading skills of a second grader, so we'll see how this goes.
For fuck's sake.
Okay, so first, should we say like when the movie came out and the stupid shit like that?
Yeah, I think so.
It was directed by Sean S. Cunningham. You can probably know why you don't know who he is because he made a shitty movie. Let's
Came
see.
out in 1980.
It came out May 9th, 1980. The budget was $550,000. It made $59.8 million.
Which is why they made 12 fucking sequels.
Yeah, exactly. All right, we'll get to the cast later as we go along. All right, so the plot. In the summer of 1958 at Camp Crystal Lake, two counselors named Barry and Claudette sneak away from a campfire into a storage barn. They prepare to have sex before an unseen assailant enters and murders them.
Okay, first question.
Yeah?
Now, hopefully everyone see this. There's not spoilers.
Yeah, spoiler alert for Friday the
fuck's
13th.
Sake. Okay. She murders those two for not watching Jason.
Yeah. This is what, like...
1958.
This was like a day after... how long did she say it happened after Jason died? Like a month, something like that?
Oh, I thought it happened while she murdered them.
Oh, no, I don't think so.
Oh, okay, because that was going to be my question. Shouldn't she just been fucking watching them?
I mean, she said she was working, and when Jason was drowning, he was saying, "Mommy, help me," and then she kept saying, "Oh, I'm coming, baby."
What if they weren't, like, on the clock?
I mean, it didn't seem like they were singing Hallelujah,
Yeah,
and then they're like, "Oh, you want to go fuck in the barn?"
Yeah, because Hallelujah makes me want to go bang.
Especially in a barn at some. I don't.
Right. So then, here's my next question. So it's 1958. Oh yeah, you're right because they said he died in 57. And then
Yeah,
they died
so
in
this was a
58.
year later. So she
So it
came
took
back.
a year to go kill them. She was just waiting for them
I guess, yeah.
to go bang up top. I mean,
Yeah, I don't know. I don't get her logic, especially, and they say this in the film, I think a couple of times too. No one knows he was killing these people. They said there's a fire, all this shit. They couldn't put two and two together that the boy dies and then the mom just doesn't show up for work and there's a bunch of killings and all this shit because she worked there.
well, here's my thing. Okay, so he died,
Yeah.
and then she killed the two people that weren't watching. Apparently, the others were watching. I don't know. Like the others quit, got a new job. Like I don't understand. But so she kills them. So 3 people died.
Yeah.
20 years later, they're like, it's cursed. Like, who fucking cares? 3 people died. Move on with your life.
So how young was she when she had Jason? If it's 20 years later, and she looked old, but not that old. Like, was she in her 20s when her 7-year-old son drowned, and he still looks 7 years old 20 years later?
That was my question, too. So he died in 58.
Yeah.
In 1980, he's still 7 years
And then,
old.
spoilers, this is for going into the second movie, but this will make sense.
Then he's grown up?
He's grown up, and he follows the bitch home from this movie and kills her, I believe, in the opening of the film.
So he grew...
Up in like a year, I think it's a year, 2 years later. But in the 20 years that the mom's killing people, he doesn't age at all.
So he doesn't know that Camp Crystal Lake is like the fountain of youth.
I guess, yeah.
So he comes out and he just grows up.
The Camp Crystal Lake is like the Lazarus Pit, except it takes 20 years for you to be able to leave it.
Yeah,
And
whatever.
did you notice that the cop threw in that one thing? And the water's all weird. Like when he's talking about how weird the camp
It
is.
is some of the worst acting I've ever seen in my entire life.
We'll get to Annie, because that bitch, she deserves an award. All right, so is that all you got for that first little bit written down?
No.
You got more?
So they actually don't even show her kill the girl in the beginning.
Yeah.
It's a fucking slasher film.
They don't show her kill almost anybody in the film. Maybe like 2 people.
Yeah. But like they go into slow motion and she screams, and then that stupid Friday the
The
13th.
slow yeah.
Like it was in 3D or something.
Yeah,
Like they
I don't
forgot
I
to
don't understand that. Like, oh, let's make a slasher film and we'll do all this stuff. It's gonna be gory, but we're only gonna show like 2 deaths. We'll show all the bodies later, but we're only gonna show 2 of them die.
It was so bad.
I want to point out too that neither one of us are like huge Friday the 13th fans. I just happened to come up with a funny name for this podcast, so I wanted to
Well,
make him do it.
I mean, is it that funny?
It's a good name for it. All right, so we're moving on.
I hate horror movies.
I know, that's the best part. Or maybe we could do spin-offs if this is good. All right, so years later, in 1979, newly hired counselor Annie Phillips asked directions to the reopened Camp Crystal Lake. A friendly truck driver named Enos, I guess that's his name, agrees to drive.
I doubt it.
It's E-N-O-S.
Enos?
Enos agrees to drive Annie halfway...
Jesus fucking Christ, this is going to be a long
halfway
podcast.
while an elderly man,
Okay, whoa, whoa,
Crazy
whoa, whoa.
Ralph.
Okay, I wanted Annie to die as soon as she was on screen.
Which part when she walked to the dog and said, "Hey, you speak English?"
No,
Or-
no, when she said, "Hey, girl," ooh, I mean, boy, and looked at his cock.
Hi, girl. Excuse me. Hi, boy. Hey, you speak English? How far is it to Camp Crystal Lake? That far, huh? Okie dokie. See you later.
What was that about? And then she asked the dog if it spoke English.
Yeah. Usually when I see a dog, the first thing I say is like, "Oh, you're cute," or whatever. Or
So her goal in life is to work with kids, so she becomes a camp counselor.
yeah, but the camp doesn't have kids yet. When she's gonna get to it, they gotta rebuild it.
Right, and she cooks, like, whatever. So, but she didn't get she has all these plans, but she couldn't plan to get a fucking ride there. She's
Well,
walking.
every single person's like, "Oh, Annie's coming." Why didn't one of those fuckers come pick her up?
I don't
They
know.
all got to town. They drove in a car and but they couldn't go pick up Annie.
Yeah, I don't know. And then we met Ralph.
I think. Oh god, yeah, Ralph. I think this movie, like, if cell phones were involved, would be solved a lot quicker.
I mean, he's like, "Hey, Annie, where you at?"
Yeah, someone could have called her or she could have called them when she got to town and got a ride. Or
There'd be no service at the lake.
yeah, probably. All right, so where was I? Yeah. So an elderly man, Crazy Ralph, warns her against going. Believed the camp was a death curse. During the drive,
Because three people died 20 years ago.
What did you call the guy? I almost called him Enos again.
Enos.
No, but there's not an I-S. It's E-N-O-S. Is that still Enos?
Yes.
Oh, I guess. That's still really spelled. After Enos drops her off, Annie hitches another ride from an unseen assailant who chases her into the woods and slashes her throat.
Which, by the way, when she jumped out of the Jeep,
Yeah, she jumped out like this out of the car.
it landed on her back.
And then they cut to the side where she's doing a fucking tumble into a ditch.
Yeah, she literally landed on her back and then got up and started limping.
When half the time she would run a little bit and then her knee would go fucking to her forehead as she's like trying to like hold it.
Yeah, that was...
Annie is like, and like they don't mention in the plot part, but she's talking to the driver, and then they're driving. She's like, "Oh, that was the sign for Camp Crystal Lake right there."
Yeah, she was
And then
a
they
very
keep going. She's
upbeat
like,
person.
"Oh, can we stop? Please, can we stop?"
So
And the
then she
person just
jumped
keeps
out
driving,
of the
and then just
Jeep.
jumps out. Yeah, she goes from being extremely calm and happy to like, "Well, I'm just gonna kill myself out of this van or this Jeep." She wasn't in a van, but yeah, she was a weird motherfucker.
She was annoying as
You
hell.
write anything else about Annie in the car or anything like that?
No, that's just she was annoying.
Oh, okay, that's like best note.
The next thing I got written down was Kevin Bacon.
Oh yeah, we're getting to him. Okay, at the camp, counselors Ned, Jack, Bill, Marcy, Brenda, and Atlas.
I don't know
Jesus
any of those
Christ!
names.
Along with owner Steve Christie, refurbish the cabins and facilities as the thunderstorm approaches. Which, real quick, I don't know if they're gonna put it up here when they're fucking boning and shit. This movie, when it comes to thunderstorms,
Yeah, that was pretty bad.
lightning strikes and they literally shine a light on the actors like a headlamp and turn it off.
Hey, this is no dream. Come on, we're gonna get soaked.
Yeah, that was bad. Like I was writing something down. And you're like, did you see that? And
Yeah, we rewind. There's a couple moments in the movie where we had to rewind it.
Yeah. Okay, so wait.
And then they're fucking who is it? Kevin Bacon and that chick, which we'll get to a little bit more. As they're getting in the room to go fuck, lightning strikes, and it's brighter in the bedroom than it was outside.
Yeah. So before the thunderstorm and all that, first of all, so we saw Kevin Bacon.
Yeah.
What about that banjo music when they're pulling up? You kind of hinted to that, but was that necessary?
It was long as fuck. That scene lasted like 3 to 4 minutes of their banjo music, and then it cuts to Steve fucking chopping wood and it's still playing.
He had cutoffs on.
A lot of the boys did in this movie, which is was that like the style in the 80s or 60s, 80s?
What are you talking about? What was your question?
A lot of the boys wore cutoffs. It was
a lot of the boys.
Or like if either one of those boys had saggy balls,
Will you
you'd
stop
be
calling
seeing
them
it.
boys?
They were boys. A lot of those boys had.
Stop.
If they had saggy
Creeping
balls,
me.
you would notice their saggy balls.
Okay, I don't want to talk about saggy balls, but he had cutoffs on
Yeah,
with a belt
yeah, in case they fell.
and then no shirt.
Yeah.
And then the other guy was down painting. He had
He-
like white
he had-
pants on.
I thought he had cutoffs too.
No, he had white pants on and then
Overall straps, but no shirt.
yeah, suspenders.
Yeah,
Overall straps. The fuck are you talking about?
or suspenders, some might call them. Where
And then Kevin Bacon's shirt. I mean, this is just that was just it is just the style,
yeah,
but it's just so funny to watch. Like Kevin Bacon didn't have anything buttoned up from like here up.
which we'll get to Kevin Bacon's cock in a little bit. Did you
might.
write that down?
I don't think so.
Uh,
Oh yeah, I did.
All right. Steve leaves the campground to stock supplies. That's a good note because we catch him at the diner a little bit, and me and you were wondering why he was at the diner, like where he went.
Oh, he went to get supplies.
Supplies, yeah.
At the diner.
I guess that's all we
Okay.
saw of him. So Steve leaves to get supplies. Soon after, the killer arrives at the camp, kills Ned off screen. There's our first death off screen. Well, I guess no, the chick was off screen. But Ned,
Yeah.
he sees someone talking, sees someone walking up by a cabin, and goes, "Hey, you!" And then walks
What
up there and
you
says
gonna do?
says hello, and then that's it. We don't see Ned again for a while until we see his throat slit on a bunk bed.
Yeah, because because there was a lot like there was he pretended to drown first, Ned.
Yeah, and
He's-
then
he
made
was-
out with that chick.
Yeah, and then they killed the
Which-
snake.
When
Was
okay,
it Ned that killed the snake or was it the other guy?
I think it was Ned. Yeah, because he was chopping it with his machete.
So I read in the little trivia thing that wasn't like the snake was just in there and they just filmed it, so they really killed the snake, I guess.
I was wondering that because like when they chopped it, it looked like a real dead snake there.
But it like turned into like a sitcom. Like they were
Yeah, and, like,
all of a
when
sudden they all jumped under the
Yeah,
bed.
well,
and then
one
there
girl was just smacking a pillow on the floor. Kevin Bacon knocked over a desk for no good reason.
yeah, and yeah, I thought it was
They
gonna
all
turn into-
fall down, look under the bed, like, "Oh golly gee, I don't want to get it."
Yeah, it was like I thought I was watching Friends or something.
Yeah, it
all of a
was
sudden.
really weird that scene. But so going back to Ned pretending to drown,
Yeah,
when
that's when Kevin Bacon was in the Speedo.
Kevin Bacon was in a Speedo, and he stands over a dude and a girl. I don't know which characters they were. And they pan up a little bit, right on his crotch, and I believe he might have had a hint of a boner.
Come on, Alice.
He could
He
have
had his-
a boner.
It almost looked like a square penis too. Is all I
I'm
don't know.
surprised you didn't pause it.
I kind of wanted to see if he had a boner or not,
I know.
but it was a really weird like. His balls and junk were just like right over
Aren't-
the dude's head.
Aren't your balls your junk anyway?
But okay, I guess his twig and berries were right
There was
over
definitely
the
s-
man's head.
You could definitely see his twig.
That was weird.
Yeah, I've seen Wild Things. You see the whole thing.
Oh, you see his whole cock in that?
Yeah.
Was it small?
I don't remember.
Well, because it looked
It
a little
looked-
small. When he was standing over that dude, it
It
looked a
looked
little.
normal to me.
Oh, I looked a little. Oh, whatever. So was it?
What about Ned dressing up like an Indian and dancing around?
Oh yeah, and the cop shows up. Yeah, this plot doesn't have a lot of the stuff on there.
Yeah. Well, I mean that's not really plot, but like I think Ned was supposed to be funny, but he wasn't.
Not in any way at all.
No, it was so bad.
Did like when the police officer called him Tonto.
Yeah, that was kind of funny.
All right, so where was I? Ned got killed off screen. Where was it? Okay, yeah, Ned died off
He's
screen.
one of many people to get killed off screen.
As Jack and Marcy have sex in one of the cabin's bunk beds, they are unaware of Ned's body directly above them. His throat slit. Soon after, Jack.
Wouldn't he bleed?
What?
Wouldn't he bleed?
Yeah, I remember it dripped and fell on.
But not till they were done having sex.
Yeah, it took a while
it
for
took
it
a
to
long-
soak through
yeah.
the sheets, apparently.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. His throat's still slit. Soon after, Jack is killed when his throat is pierced by an arrow beneath the bed. The killer murders Marcy by slamming an axe into her face. Brenda hears a child's voice calling for help.
That was fucking weird.
Yeah, because the mom gets real fucking weird with that too. Mommy,
Yeah.
kill her, mommy.
She was actually kind of creepy at the end.
Yeah,
But,
but she's not a good It'd be hard, I guess, the way they were filming, but they needed a stunt double for her work.
yeah, like she'd get hit and she'd go, ah! It's like, what the? It's like it was like
It
you
was
dropped,
like
you
you're
drop a
dropping Chucky.
turtle. Yeah, the same sound.
Yeah, it was.
I mean, go drop a turtle and you'll
that
know.
was
what
that
we're
was
talking
real odd. So yeah, kills her by slamming an axe in her face. Brenda hears a child's voice calling for help. Ventures outside her cabin, which I want to pause here for a second.
about. Good, because I got other shit to talk about.
So they're playing Strip Monopoly
Right.
before Brenda hears the child's voice.
Why do they need money if they're playing Strip Monopoly?
I don't know.
Because they all had money.
Well, they said that you pay with your clothes, but then they gave
why do
the
you need
dude
the
money. Yeah, I didn't
Oh,
get
yeah.
that. Rules didn't make sense. But you made me run because I went pee. Then you made me rewind it. The door blows outwards.
yeah.
Oh, no! Wait a minute. Hold the money down. Get the money. Now just
It's blowing like crazy out there.
Oh, I think I left the windows in my cabin open.
And they.
The wind's blowing, and literally the door blows outside. And then Brenda goes, "Oh, well, I gotta go check my windows in my cabin."
Yeah, I don't think I closed my windows.
So I'm just gonna.
So even though I decided to talk you guys into playing Strip Monopoly, I'm gonna quit now and
Go
go in this fucking thunderstorm in my bra and underwear and go check my windows.
and then along the way,
Now I know why they make fun of people in horror movies.
she stops in the same bathroom that what was her name, Marcy, I think.
Who cares?
Oh no, the girl that just got hit with the axe. The same bathroom that she was just in and got killed in. She steps in there to brush her teeth, and no, Brian, I skipped a while. So she ends up leaving. She hears the voice calling for help, ventures outside of her cabin to the archery range, only for the lights to turn on, and she gets attacked off-screen. Again, another off-screen death.
She got on screen later when they threw her through the window.
Yeah, which it was weird because it looked like a lot of makeup on her face, but was it supposed to look like Jason's mom just beat the shit out of her
It
after
looked
she
like-
killed her?
It looked like they ate a jumbo jack on her face. Is
It-
what it looked like.
It was like there was so much makeup smeared and shit all over her face, but it looked like it was supposed to be cuts and bruises. But like, did Jason's mom kill her and then just start punching the shit out of her or something?
I don't know. It was off screen.
Yeah, it was.
I mean-
It was a really odd moment to me.
So wait, so remember? Okay, so Ned's dead.
Yeah,
Get it? Pulp Fiction.
I got it.
So Ned's dead. He's up on the top bunk. Kevin Bacon is doing something on the bottom bunk.
Yeah,
She kills him, right?
yeah,
So then, wow, that was
that was a lot as fuck.
threw me off. So whatever the fuck that girl's name is that left,
Brenda?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
she left like minutes before that to go to the restroom.
Yeah,
So Kevin Bacon gets killed.
yeah,
5 minutes later, she gets to the restroom, right?
yeah. About.
Yeah. 2 seconds later, fucking Jason's mom's there. So why does
And
it
she was
take-
just killing
right?
Kevin Bacon, but
So
it took
why
her
did it take her that long, and then it took her 2 seconds later?
odd editing, I assume. Yeah, that was weird. She's attacked off screen. Eventually, Steve returns to the camp, and the killer shines a flashlight on him, which he might have thought was lightning when she did that.
Yeah, I know. He's like, "Ooh, I'm scared of lightning." Oh, but by the
which
way,
they
so-
skipped. Steve was at the diner with that chick and had a very odd sequence with that I don't think needed to be in the movie.
No, and his Jeep got stuck,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, and then he got picked up by a cop, and then the cop had to go away eventually.
So, I mean, I've gotten a car stuck before.
Yeah.
Why did it not start?
I can't answer that for
Like, would you turn it off? Oh, it's stuck. I'm gonna turn off the ignition. Like, I don't understand.
you. That's
like
another
sitting there trying to
another thing
start it.
that doesn't make sense.
He's like trying to start it, and the cop pulls up and goes, "I thought that thing could go anywhere." I'm like, it's not starting. What the? It's not. Whatever.
He appears to recognize the killer before he is killed, and I believe his is off screen too. They don't note that in here, but you see him go
Yeah,
and then
like,
that's it.
yeah.
Alice and Bill worried about their friend's disappearance, and they leave the main cabin to investigate, only to discover a bloody axe in Brenda's bed, which that was fucking weird. And she's like, "What is going on?
Yeah.
So they discover the axe in Brenda's bed. The phones are disconnected, and the cars are inoperable. Which I think when they go in the place to get that's the place where they break the window.
Yeah.
They go to the place to use the phone, and the door is locked. And they're rebuilding this entire fucking camp so they can have kids come over. And instead of walking to a building, which we see the keys later on in the movie, she just goes, "Oh, hold on a second." Picks up a piece of wood and breaks the window.
Yeah.
I don't understand that part at all. Instead of walking like 10 feet where you just came from,
And
grabbing the pair of keys.
And they're not. They don't mind doing stupid shit when there's a killer loose. So.
Yeah. The car's inoperable. When the power goes out, Bill goes to check the generator and is killed off screen. That's like 4 in a row off screen deaths.
Yeah. How many were there?
How
how many people were there?
So let me see. It has them up at the top. It's Annie dies. It's Ned, Jack, Bill, Marcy, Brenda, Alice, and then Steve is the guy that owns the place. So that's 7 people, and 4 of them have died off screen.
And it's called a slasher film.
Yep.
Okay, just checking.
So where was I? The power goes out. He gets killed off screen. Blah blah blah. So
that's when Mom shows up, right?
I believe so. I'm trying to get to that. Oh yeah. So then she goes back to she ends up finding Bill's body impaled with arrows in the generator room. She flees back to the main cabin, only to be traumatized further when Brenda's body is thrown through the window. Which, when she gets into that fucking cabin, she's the dumbest person I've ever seen. She's yanking on the door, gets a rope, ties the rope to the roof, ties it to the doorknob, which the door opens out, which I guess is a little smart but weird. And then
she puts 2 logs.
grabs a piece of firewood, leans it up against the door, which the door opens that way. Then she grabs a chair. Then she pushes over a tiny bookshelf that's smaller than the piece of wood she put down, puts that in front of the door, then puts a chair on top of it, then grabs another chair, knocks that chair over.
Maybe her idea is when she opens the door,
everything just falls on her and knocks her down for the first time before she knocks her down 4 more times.
And then she can go, ah!
Yeah, that... I don't. And then what's funny is at that moment you go, well, all it's gonna do is stop her from leaving the house.
Right.
And then she runs to the kitchen, grabs a bat, something else, closes all these windows.
She got brave when she got the bat.
And that's when Brenda goes flying in through the window again.
Which there's no fucking way that fucking little lady could throw Brenda.
Yeah, she can't. She can barely swing a fucking axe, but she can throw Brenda's body through a window and then disappear. So then Alice sees a vehicle pull up, thinking it's Steve. She rushes outside. Instead, she's greeted by a middle-aged woman named Pamela Voorhees, which I didn't know her name was Pamela, who says she's an old friend of Steve's. Alice brings her inside. Pamela reveals that her son Jason was the boy that drowned in 1957. She blames...
What a reveal that was, too.
I know. She blames his death on the counselors who were supposed to be watching him, but instead were having sex, not paying any attention to Jason, which, she wasn't either. Revealing herself as the killer, she turns and violently rushes towards Alice with a Bowie knife. A chase ensues. What? That's what it says. In which Pamela attempts to kill Alice like 4 fucking times and leaves her on the floor. Alice finds Annie's body inside Pamela's car, which if that was me, I would have just pushed over Annie and drove the car away. The car was running.
Yeah.
So you could have drove away and you wouldn't have had to kill a girl, and you could have just got away.
Yeah, I mean, even if you just bring the dead girl with you, you can kick her out later.
Yeah. So then Alice heads out.
What I didn't understand, and I know it's so they just make this fucking movie longer. She kills everybody right away.
Yeah.
Doesn't say a peep. She's just like banging it. Like at one point she slapped her like 4 times in a row.
And then threw her on a table. And
she's stabbing people with arrows and shit. But this one she's like wants to teach a lesson or something.
Yeah, it makes no sense. Like it almost makes you think that like someone else was killing them, but then she just showed up at the end.
Yeah.
But it's very because like everybody else, like she seems like she puts an axe into someone's skull, all this shit.
Yeah.
And can't kill one little girl who's afraid for her fucking life.
Yeah, it didn't make any sense. Like at one point she was banging her head on the sand in the beach.
That was a real funny part. So as she runs away, Steve's body falls from a roof really conveniently. And then following a confrontation with Pamela, Pamela's knocked out, probably for the fourth fucking time at this point. Escapes to shore. She begins to relax. Like, I don't know why she decided to relax looking at the water. Fucking get away, a killer's chasing you. She begins to relax. Pamela finds her, attempts to kill her again during the final struggle.
Easy for you to say.
Alice decapitates her with a machete. Afterward, a traumatized Alice boards and falls asleep inside a
Where did that
canoe.
machete come from?
It was the one that Pamela was holding. Inside a canoe, which floats out on Crystal Lake.
So, remember when she cut her head off?
Okay.
We watched that twice.
We watched that twice, because as it happened, I was like, wait, did her head fall off before she swung? And yes, her head fell off before Alice swung at her. But also, she swings this way. The cut went, like, she swings, I guess for you audio listeners, she swings from the right. The cut was, like, from the left and slanted up.
Yeah, it was the opposite.
It could have been easily fixed. They probably made the double over her head before they filmed the scene.
Yeah.
So they could have said, all right, swing this way. Easy fix. Or flip the image, something like that. But no, it was very odd. So then just as Alex awakens, sees police arrive, which why the fuck did the police come?
Yeah, that's what.
The phones are broken. Both phones are broken. Everybody's dead. No one got in touch with the police.
Like, help.
The police didn't even get to come to the...
And they had their lights on like it was an emergency.
Because the sheriff drove away after something with Crazy Bill or whatever that dude's name was.
Butch, wasn't it?
I
might have made that
says
up.
it up here somewhere. Oh, whatever.
Dun, 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 dun,
Jason's decomposing body suddenly emerges, drags her underwater. Then she awakens in a hospital when the police officer and medical staff tend to her.
Now, I have to admit,
Yeah.
that part was kind of cool.
Oh, with Jason coming out?
Yeah, even though he looked like a
fucking weirdo.
Yeah. I'm sure the first time I watched that, I was like, oh.
That was the only part. You probably woke up, saw that part, and go, oh, that was a good movie.
No, I never said it was a good movie. No, but like that. I mean, at least that was like. I'm sure, like when that first came out, like that was a surprise. I mean, it's like I see dead people. Kind of a surprise.
I can see that. Yeah. So then she asks about Jason, and the officer says there is no sign of any boy. Alice says, he's still there, and then they show Camp Crystal Lake at peace, and that's the whole movie.
And there's a little.
I wish the movie went that quick.
And this was your fucking idea.
I know. This was all my idea. And I had a terrible time watching the movie, but it was kind of funny.
When?
Their terrible acting and the killing. I don't know. See, it's weird. I don't know what watching shitty horror movies is almost better for me than I like watching a good horror movie, but sometimes watching a shitty one's
good. Horror movie?
Like The Conjuring or the new It looks great. Like there is some real good ones out there. Or like Get Out, that's a good one.
No, see, I haven't seen that.
That's real good.
But it's because I hate these fucking movies.
So yeah, what is it about horror movies that you just hate so much?
Well, like this one, it's just so stupid.
Get some good music while you talk about it.
That is the worst beginning ever. I can't take it. Turn this shit off. It was really bad acting.
Yeah.
So like Bing Crosby's son's in it. Kevin Bacon's in it. Kevin Bacon wasn't good in it.
I mean, he said like maybe 10 lines in the whole film.
Yeah, but he shows his pecker.
Yeah, that's true. We did get to see Kevin Bacon's
We
pecker.
got to see his ass.
It's weird. It's really like it amazes me that this movie got a sequel. Like I get it.
Sequel?
I get it made. Well, no, just to start off,
Yeah.
because like it got a sequel, and like from what I looked at, not even like the critics liked the movie. So I get it made money, but you'd think that.
Yeah, I read Siskel and Ebert like hated it so much they
he
wrecked it.
he spoiled the ending in his review
That's
for the
kind
film.
of a dick move.
That's kind of funny though too.
And then they said it just helped.
Oh really?
Yeah, like it just helped people want to go see it. I guess I don't know.
Oh, that's kind of funny.
I mean, fuck if it made $59 million and only cost $500,000 to make.
Yeah, they are working on a remake right now because they did that one and it did okay.
I don't remember
Like
the
I think
remake.
it's like 2011 it came out or something, which I
Just Friday the
I
13th?
liked, but it briefly went over his mom's story and him, and then it goes in him. What I liked though is like, you know how Jason kind of just appears places.
Yeah.
They made it so he has got like a tunnel system under the lake and all that, and
What is he, Hogan's Heroes?
It was pretty neat though, and he was like holding a girl hostage down there that he took like a year later. So it was the guy coming to find his sister. But it was pretty neat. It has Killer Frost in it. I believe she dies in the end. Spoilers.
Alright.
But
Thanks.
it was
I'm not watching that now.
it was pretty good. But now they're working on a better one. But I guess they want to add like Jason's dad to the story and
For
some
fuck's
shit like
sake.
that. But I don't know what they're gonna do. But like they've been trying to make it for a while, and a lot of people wanted them to do like a first person or like a found footage thing. And the director of the movie was like, no, like he's turned down different scripts in the movie because he doesn't want to do it that way.
Oh, he's got integrity.
Yeah, he's like, no, I want to do my Friday the 13th story.
Yeah.
But all right, so we're gonna go. Fuck, it's 2 minutes long. Jesus Christ.
What?
We're gonna watch the trailer for Friday the 13th Part 2.
Why?
Well, because we gotta get ready. We're gonna do this next week again. We're gonna do this 12 weeks.
Oh my god.
You know what I'm excited for when we get to Jason X? He goes to space and all that.
Yeah, I can't wait for that
You
shit.
excited for that? All right.
Actually, there's one of them I actually remember liking.
Isn't it the one with
Corey Feldman.
Yeah, I
I
believe.
think I liked that one, but I was stupid.
Well,
and young.
What do you mean was?
You heard me, bitch.
Well, now you're just stupid and old.
I'm gonna fucking.
All right, so we're gonna watch the trailer for Friday the 13th. I'll probably put up on the screen for you video watchers. I might want to turn up the volume, huh? You excited?
No,
Coming from Paramount.
you're coming from Paramount. Still full moon.
Yeah, it almost looks like the same film.
You need to clean your fucking.
See, look, there's the
computer.
bit. There's the what's the face from the last movie? Oh, they're gonna show us Jason Killer in the trailer.
Spoiler.
I guess.
On a June night in 19...
Oh my god.
Friday, the 13th, 12 of her friends were murdered. Why should Friday the 13th, 1981 be any different? Friday the 13th, Part 2.
Electric Boogaloo.
The body count continues.
Oh, see, this is before he even had like his main Jason mask.
Hey.
Oh, he's back. I forgot he came back.
Where'd he
in it.
get the shoes?
15,
Oh, watch out.
Hammer.
16,
What's he counting? How many people die?
I think he's saying it's all those days, but I'm not. Maybe he's saying how many people Jason's killed so far, but he didn't kill those first 12.
Yeah.
So that doesn't fully make sense. Isn't this a spoiler for the movie? We're seeing every single person die before you watch the film? Oh, I remember that bitch.
20,
This is an odd trailer.
21, 22, 23.
Seriously?
I don't know why they're showing everybody die in the trailer.
Do we really have to watch this now?
I mean, maybe there's only a little bit left now at this point.
I mean, this
Oh,
is...
they had real lightning. They had a budget for real lightning in this one.
Friday the 13th,
Part 2.
Part 2.
So, if that many people really die, or are they counting it from the first one?
They started counting from the first movie. They said like 12 died in the first one, so they got to like, what was that, 22 something?
Did 12 people really die in the first one? Oh, they're counting back from 1958?
I guess. But Jason didn't fucking kill those people, so why are they counting that?
Because they're one and the same.
I guess. Oh, maybe because he was inside his mom, he was the one fucking her up.
Yeah, remember he's like...
So are we gonna include?
Don't let her get
so
away.
I guess let's make the rules right now.
There's rules?
having trouble making a sentence. Okay. So we're doing all of Friday the 13th. Obviously, there's 12 of those. But then they made Freddy vs. Jason, which I believe is canon to these. So
Nick Cannon?
do we want to add the remake because that's like a fresh start, or do we just want to do all these and then Freddy vs. Jason?
We might as well do the fucking new one if we're doing... I mean, at that point...
Okay. I just wanted to establish a little rule set and everything. So any other things you want to add before we end this?
Yeah,
very
this movie
well
sucked
done
fucking
podcast?
ass, and I don't want to ever watch it again. We
Well,
should burn the DVD.
Burn the DVD. It's a big stream, don't you think?
I don't know. It's just fucking horrible.
All right, yeah. So we'll be back next week at some point with the next movie. I am kind of looking forward to doing it because it's kind of fun making you watch a bad movie and just rewatching them and coming talking about it. It's fun seeing all like the shitty things they did to film the movies. See, I'm excited for when it gets to the farther along movies, like the Jason X or the Jason Goes
Like
to Hell.
Jason
There's
Takes
one
Manhattan.
point, I believe, I don't know if it's the last Jason. It's one of the last Jasons. Jason dies. He dies a couple times in the series. Spoilers. And this black guy eats Jason's heart, and Jason becomes that black guy for a little bit. And then I think he gets his own body back somehow. But it gets like really weird like that, and I'm kind of excited to see where it goes.
Really?
Yeah.
I must have stopped watching it by then.
Really? I don't.
Yeah.
I think that might be the last one.
I think I just
Before
bought 'em
before it
for-
gets to like Jason X and the other one that they made.
Do we have all these movies?
We own every single one.
Jesus.
Yeah, you bought them for me. You know, this is technically all your fault because you introduced me and Taylor to these movies and said, "Oh, you guys like horror movies. You'll love these." And bought
Yeah,
them
and you
for us.
did.
Yeah. So there you go. It's all your fault.
Well, I didn't say I had to watch them.
You did too. But all right, thanks for watching, Pleekers. We'll be back next week with another episode of Podcast the 13th.
You're fucking retarded.